Hello everyone, welcome to another ISMONO podcast. And today I have a returning guest. He's finally back. It's Odie from Odie Matthews. And he's not only back on this podcast, but more importantly, he's back in the business bag enthusiast reviewer space. So hello Odie. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, great to be here as always.
Can you maybe, you have been here a couple of times, but let's do it for all of the new listeners. Can you do a quick introduction to yourself?
Yeah, so Odie Matthews, I am a fellow bag reviewer on YouTube who has been on hiatus for a year, almost exactly. I also have a second YouTube channel you might have heard of called Magnum Nopus, where we look at so bad they're good movies. And then I also have my podcast called Unpop. So you might have seen me in or around those spheres.
I actually have a bone to pick. I don't remember what it was, but I saw one or two movies on your Magnum Nopus that you said they were bad. And I didn't think they were bad. So but I forgot which one it was. But I was like, no, that's not a bad movie. What are you saying?
Maybe it's so bad it's good,
I'm not sure. It's not bad at all. Anyways, so you just mentioned that your main channel, your main backpack. So for all of you who don't know, Odie reviewed, just like the other reviewers, a lot of bags, and then you went into hiatus.
Yeah.
Can you maybe explain a little bit, why did you pause the channel?
Yeah, so I think about a year ago, I think right before I paused the channel, I was actually on your podcast and we kind of talked about a little bit about where my head was. So full circle moment here. I loved reviewing bags, but I think I reached a point where every bag started to feel the same. And it was, I had overexposed myself to too much. And I told myself when I started YouTube that if my heart was my heart wasn't in the content I was creating anymore, that was my sign to take a step back. And when I made a video about the Wandered Provoke, which is my favorite bag. I love that bag to pieces. It's the first bag I bought. And so after that video came out, I was like, man, I think this is a good spot to leave the channel either forever or for a little bit. And that's when I started my new channel, Magnum Nopus, because I wanted to talk about something and I wanted to create content that I was passionate about. And since I didn't really feel it with the bags, I was like, well, I love movies and this could be fun. And then about 3 weeks ago, I don't know what clicked, but I was at a local camera shop grabbing some camera gear and I saw one of the Shimoda bags and I was like, man, I would love to talk about that bag. And then next day, I got an email from Black Ember and an email from Raycon asking me to test products. And I was like, you know what? Let's come back. Let's do it. Why not? So yeah. And now a year later, I'm back. So.
And that was the Black Ember Forge 40-liter review that you posted 2 days ago, I think, right?
Yeah, pretty fresh. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
and
cool.
now I have 6 bags lined up to talk about from companies that I reached out to and was like, hey, I'm back if you're interested. So
any plans? You don't have to kind of give away too much what's coming up next, but any plans on changing the content in the future to make it a little bit more interesting for you to spice it up?
Yeah, actually, so I've been playing with for the last couple weeks on how I want to do the new format for the channel. And I think a lot of reviewers already have a pretty good formula, like Nomads Nation, Chase Reeves. You have really good formulas that I don't want to replicate. And I think that that's where the bag review content kind of got tricky for me, is that I don't want to just talk about a bag the same way that everybody else does, because if I'm not adding anything extra to that conversation, then maybe people are subscribing for personality, but I want to add something that actually helps people with their decisions. And so my new format is I'm trying to keep all of my reviews, no matter what product I talk about, under 15 minutes. And it's just kind of more to the point. And then I always want to pick 3 pros and 3 cons, something that I learned from you, because you're not afraid to tell people about the cons, which I really respect and admire. And I felt like for a really long time, I was scared to talk about the negatives of the bag. Cause I was like, oh, what if the company doesn't want to send me another bag because I said that their zippers suck or whatever, So I really wanted to make it balanced where no matter how much I love the bag, it's a very balanced review on here's the good, here's the bad, here's how it could work for you, here's how it could work against you, and keep it all under 15 minutes. Because I think longer reviews people can love. Like I remember watching Chase Reeves's videos and they were like 45 minutes and I would love to watch them. But now I kind of feel like for me, I would want to keep my content a little bit shorter because, there are people out there that are like, just get to the point. And I've gotten those comments before. They're like, just get to the point. So
I can see that's totally understandable. And I think that's a good idea because for me, I went to the total opposite route. All of my videos have become longer, but I totally understand the point of people saying, I'll get to the point, which is why I always put like chapter markers in them.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I get what you're saying. And I mean, producing a 15-minute video is so much easier than 25-minute video.
Yeah, and because I have 2 channels and my podcast, and I'll be honest, Magnum Nopus is way more important to me right now because it's just so much fun. And I've had 2 videos get over 20,000 views, and I'm not even at 3,000 subscribers. So that was like, amazing. That was a really big pat on the back for myself. Yeah. But I can also with Odie Matthews because I keep them so short and I mainly am doing B-roll. I don't want a lot of meat in it. I want as much of the bag and like me using it footage as I can. I can film all 4 of my videos for the month in one afternoon. Like I can just set up, film all 4 and then spend a couple days editing. And then I've got 4 weeks of content that I don't have to worry about. And that's really where I need to set myself up for. And I do that with Magnum Nopus too, where I'll record like 6 audio tracks in one day. So that way, because with balancing all of this stuff and I still want to have free time, it's easier to kind of set it up to where everything is ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. And I would love to know in this 1 year of hiatus, what has been, as a bag reviewer, we switch a lot of bags. Basically 2 weeks to monthly basis. So what has been your bag of choice when you just did not have to review and did not have to switch? Did you use one bag at all?
I loved, that was probably one of my favorite parts of this hiatus was the freedom to do whatever I wanted with my carries. My favorite bag, I think, I love the Wanted Provoke, but if I could only save one of my bags, it would be my Attitude Supply. My ATD2 is one of my favorite and most versatile bags.
ATD2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really love that one. I also use my Mission Workshop rake a lot. That has probably been my go-to EDC. I love that bag. And for travel, I've mainly been using either my Wakes bag, which I really don't get to use because after I reviewed it, it kind of went up on the shelf.
Wow,
And then for my sling, because I love to carry a sling with me, I've been using the Bellroy Light because that is, to me, that is like the perfect sling. It's packable, it's got organization, it's light. Love that thing. So really the rake and the Bellroy sling are mainly what I've been using unless I've been traveling, which I haven't really been that much.
And have you been dumping all of your equipment into the rake as well with the camera cube or whatnot?
Oh, no, for camera, I still, because I have so much gear, I use the Peter McKinnon Nomadic, the 35 liter one, or their 22 liter version. Because but I mean, that's Peter McKinnon right there. Everybody that's watched my channel knows that Peter McKinnon, I love that man. So I truly, I'm not a huge fan of Nomadic, but I really do think that his bags with them are pretty solid for camera gear.
Yeah, I haven't been able to test any of the nomadic bags up till now, and Peter McKinnon bag looks very interesting, but I'm the kind of person, I don't like when something is hyped up too much, then it kind of is becoming unattractive to me. So nevertheless, if I would still carry that much equipment, I would definitely love to check it out.
It's too expensive for $400. That's a really expensive bag, which is the other, if I hadn't gotten that for free, I probably wouldn't have bought it for that much. Yeah. That's a crazy amount. That's like a new lens almost.
Yeah, but I mean, it's you could argue that considering that it is a camera bag, meaning a bag that you utilize for work, everything that is meant for work purposes immediately gets a little bit more expensive because everyone knows you can write it off at some point. So yeah, I think it would be an overkill for regular people, in my humble opinion.
And I only really need the bigger one if I'm bringing like my gimbal or if I'm bringing like more like my matte box for studio shoots or something like that. Yeah. But my all my running gun kit will fit either in like the Provoke or the smaller Peter McKinnon bag.
Exactly. You have the Provoke 20 or 30 liter?
I have every size of the Provoke. Oh, really? I have every single
at least in one. Different colors or all are the same?
They're all the same color.
Shame.
I am a creature of habit.
Shame.
I'm a creature of habit. What can I say?
Dude, at least one different color would be cool.
I know.
Are they all black or
no, they're all green. They're all green.
At least green. I have the green one as well.
Exactly.
That one looks good. Yeah.
Yeah. I have enough black bags. I don't need any more.
Yeah. But I mean, the small one, the light one, I had that one in beige. That looked so good.
Yeah.
And I would have loved the yellow one. The yellow one looks also pretty cool.
Whenever bag companies come out with new colors for bags I already own, there's always a part of me that's like, damn it, I wish I had that color instead.
Yeah. I mean, it just looks better to have one different color overall, at least to me. But man, you have all of the Provokes.
Yeah, I am a wandered fanboy.
It's a great bag.
Through. Yeah,
it's a totally great bag. And as I said, if I had more equipment, I would probably utilize my Provoke much more than I do or have been. But I mean, what do you do with one Pocket 3, DJI Pocket 3, and now I have a small little Fuji camera? You don't need that stuff.
The Pocket 3 is great though. That's a great like run and gun. Yeah.
Do you still use it for your YouTube stuff, or do you shoot now everything with your FX30?
I sometimes will use my DJI 3, but for the most part, I'm trying to get better with the Sony FX30. I didn't really realize this, but after a year of being away from YouTube, and in that year, my regular job wasn't me behind a camera. I was just a marketing director. So when I came back to YouTube is when I got the new job where now I am video editing and being behind the camera more. I realized that in that year, a lot of my skill kind of dropped off. So I opened up, I got the FX30 and I was like, ISO, right. Like I had to
you're practicing.
I'm trying to use my FX30 for everything to really master it. So
and speaking of, I mean, that's a good segue that you said your skills were in hibernation mode. Let's call it that. They were in hibernation mode.
I like that.
What are your plans then for both of your channels? We talked about how you want to switch up your review style, but overall, what are your plans for both of these channels in the future?
I think for Odie Matthews, I think that channel has now become my fun channel where talking about bags is fun for me again. So I could never get another subscriber on that channel and I would still be happy making my content because it's fun. And I really do enjoy talking about bags. And it was pretty upsetting that passion had kind of dwindled towards the end of last year. So for that one, I think it's just going to be, that's just for me. But for Magnum Nopus, I really my plan with that is to grow it to the point where I can maybe use that to leverage more short film making, or even hopefully one day, big goal, get on an actual movie set and get one of my scripts or something made into an actual movie. I would love to leverage me talking about movies for me to have the opportunity to actually make a movie, because that's still the end goal for me, is to direct a feature film.
What kind of genres do you interest you if you would make one yourself?
Yeah, so I've written 3 short films. One I'm hoping will go for crowdfunding later this year.
Wow.
So I wrote one that's like a drama, comedy, real life, kind of what my sister and I went through growing up with our parents, who were conspiracy theorists, like very far right, kind of indoctrinated into some weird stuff parents. Like growing up with them was really weird, like Earth is flat kind of stuff, right?
Really?
Like,
that far off. Oh wow.
And so for the record, I think the Earth is round, just FYI. So that one is kind of the standalone, but the other 2, I really want to do horror. I love psychological horror movies. I'm not a big fan of like slasher and gore, but I love the movies where you don't know if the threat is real, you don't know if it's in their head, it could be around the corner. Like, I love the suspenseful psychological horror thrillers. So that's what I would love to do. I also feel like horror allows you to do a lot of creative stuff with camera angles and editing and things like that, because horror opens up a lot of doors. So
that's also difficult. I feel like comedy and horror are the 2 genres that are masterclass. It's one of the most difficult stories to tell and to properly do. So I would love to see that your first script will get crowdfunded. That would be pretty interesting to see.
Fingers crossed, I'm hoping. So keep an eye out.
And with Magnum Nopus, do you continue to do movies that are so bad that they are good in air quotes older movies, or are you kind of moving towards newer stuff as well?
So I think Magnum Nopus has kind of evolved. The original premise was, hey, is this movie so bad it's good, or is it just bad? And as I've looked at movies all over, like I've gone back as far as the 80s. I did the original Death Race movie. I did a Sylvester. It's so bad. I did a Sylvester Stallone movie, The Stopper My Mom Will Shoot, from the 80s. So time periods, I'll go wherever. I don't want to limit myself to genres or a certain time period. But now Magnum Nopus has categories for movies that I watch and are actually good. So I have a category called Just Plain Good. I watched a really weird movie called Cosmopolis, and I didn't know how to place it. So I was like, okay, well, here's a new category, Just Plain Weird. This movie is just weird, so it's going to live here. So I definitely want to still look at movies that are quote unquote considered bad by a majority of people. But I also don't want to limit myself to being like, okay, it's either bad or it's so bad it's good. Like, I watched the Hellboy the Crooked Man, which was like a really small...
Yeah, I know. I remember. I didn't see it, but I saw some snippets and I thought like, holy shit, that looks terrible.
And see, I thought it was going to be awful, but honestly, it's pretty good if you can get by the fan film, because it looks like a fan film.
Yeah,
but outside
like
of that,
terrible fan film. Yeah.
Outside of that, I think it's pretty good. I had a good time with it, and it ended up being a good movie to me. So I think I don't want Magnum Nopus to ever be a channel where I'm reviewing new releases that are in theaters, because that just, I don't know. I feel like I really wanted to make sure that talking about movies, since it's such a saturated market on YouTube, I had to find a way to stand out. And I think talking about movies that either people have forgotten about or that people thought were bad is the best way to kind of do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I like that approach. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, if you ever do another funny movie where you want some second opinion and want to bounce off, I'd be happy to be a guest in that video / podcast or whatever it might be.
I want to do that a lot. I want to bring, now that I'm a year into Magnum Nopus and I've really found my footing with it. I've got avatar artwork that's been done, my face isn't in it at all. So I've really got like everything kind of streamlined. I really want to start bringing people on to talk about movies to kind of change it up a little bit. So, because I know my podcast co-host and I are going to watch both Rebel Moon movies, so part 1 and part 2, the director's cut, back to back, and do movie commentary for them. So it's like 6 hours.
I didn't watch it yet, but I watched enough of the reviews just to know that I don't want to watch it.
I wouldn't.
But yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that video then.
Can't
or is
wait.
it going to be an unpop podcast episode?
It'll be a podcast episode. I don't think I could edit a 6-hour video about Rebel Moon. It would just be me banging my head against the keyboard.
Maybe you will like it. Maybe it's not that bad.
Oh, they're bad. I've seen both of them.
You already did.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. No, I've already seen them. Actually, my favorite story about this is we talked about the first one on the podcast, and Kevin, my co-host, was like, "Hey, we have to talk about the second one." And I was like, "All right, like it's a Netflix movie, it's 2.5 hours. I can watch that." We get about 20 minutes into the second one, and we're texting each other as we're watching it, and he's not responding. Like another 30 minutes go by, and I'm like, "Man, is he really into this movie?" He fell asleep. He fell asleep, and he didn't tell me until we got onto the pod. And so he's like, "Yeah, I don't remember half of this movie." And I was like, "You son of a bitch! I watched this because you said we had to, and then you fell asleep."
Oh, so, is it that bad?
Yes, it is. Honestly, it's just a lot of nothing, So
that's a shame.
It is. Could have been good, but
yeah. I mean, the premise sounded interesting. The trailer looked amazing.
Yeah.
And then all of the reviews came in, and
it's just boring.
It was boring.
Yeah, there's just too many shots of slow motion farming. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Like there's probably 20 minutes of them like cutting crops and in the fields and farming, and it's like, why?
That's so typical Zack Snyder. I don't know why he. Yeah, it's just so. But let's go back to bags a little bit, and I would love to know. You said, can you go into which bags you will be reviewing soon as a small little teaser?
I've got. Speaking of the Peter McKinnon Nomadic, I've got their new Luna pack.
Okay,
that's what it's called. It's like an 18 liter. Surprisingly, I like it.
Okay,
pretty good. I've got the new Matador bag, their new travel bag. I'm enjoying that one so far. I'm going to be using that on a trip here soon. Simple sent me their day pack, so I'll be doing that one. What else do I have coming up? Off the top of my head, that's all I remember. I have to look at my list.
Interesting bags.
I feel like there's one that I'm missing, but yeah, a couple others coming up too. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Any travel bags planned? Are you going to travel in the future?
The new Western Rise bag. I'm going to be getting my hands on that one here soon as well. So, and that's a travel bag. It's got like a modular where it's got like a smaller bag that can fit inside of it. So, you have your day pack when you get to where you're going. Cool, yeah. So I'm the Western Rise one I think I'm most interested in. I have, for a really long time, I had a really good relationship with the owner of Western Rise. So now that he's made a bag, I'm like, your clothes were pretty good.
Yeah.
How's your bag? So I'm excited.
I'm interested in that one as well. I'm looking forward to check that out as well.
Yeah.
Not too much information about that in my head, but I think it could be
seen
very
anything.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then I'm finally gonna get my hands on the Heim Planet, one of their bags.
Okay.
I have never tested one of their bags before, but I've always wanted to.
Not. Oh,
never.
Okay.
So. Okay. Oh wait, no. I tested one years ago that they don't even make anymore, that I'd bought off like Facebook Marketplace.
Okay. Which one would you review?
I'm either going to buy the travel bag or I'm going to purchase the daily carry. So okay. I don't know which one, because they remind me a lot of the Manal bags, and I'm still a big fan of the Manal bags, so I'm really curious about Heim Planet, but it's something I got to purchase out of pocket, so I've just been kind of waiting.
Speaking of travel, are you still, when you're traveling, are you still trying to do one bag travel, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I still I think it drives my partner crazy because we just moved, and as we're packing up stuff, you know, I'm a minimalist at heart. I would love to not own any stuff because stuff just gets dirty and it's in the way. But as we were moving, I was like, I can fit all my clothes in one bag. We should just let's just downsize. Let's just throw everything away and we'll start over. So, but yeah, one bag travel still is definitely the way to go for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one have you been using over this year when you have been traveling?
You
probably traveled a lot for business, right?
Actually more for myself. Okay. One of the big reasons that Odie Matthews was so easy for me is when I worked for the environmental company that I was at for about 7 years, my job was to travel full time for that. Yeah. So it made it really easy to test these products on the road. Yeah. But now I don't travel for work at all. So it's really just personal trips. And a lot of those are actually just road trips. You know, Colorado is such a big state and there's so much to do, but a lot of it's 4 to 6 hours away because it's up in the mountains, or, you know, depending on the seasons. So a lot of it is like car travel now, which has led me to more duffel bags, which has been kind of fun too.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, it makes it easier to pack, but also to overpack, right?
Yeah, because with the airlines, you know, you kind of have to be mindful of how big stuff that's going through security and how, you know, will it fit in the seat in front of you or in the up above. But with a car travel, I mean, there's nothing in my car, so it's just going in the trunk, so I can bring as much as I want.
But does that mean that do you think you would have now very slowly and subconsciously moved away from minimalist packing? And now if I say, okay, Odie, pack tomorrow, we're flying internationally, you only can pack one bag, that you would have difficulties packing because now you got so used to packing a duffel bag inside the car?
I think one bag travel is still what I prefer. Not to throw my partner under the bus, but sometimes the reason my bags get packed out more is because I end up putting their stuff in my bag because their bag is overfilled. And that usually, we flew a few months ago. We flew, and I was trying out a bag that I had tested a long time ago. It was one of the Tropic Feel bags. And I was like, I want to try this bag again. Yeah, just for fun. I was like, why not? And I ended up, half of my bag was their stuff because I was like, you can only bring one bag. We're just doing carry-ons. I was like, they're free. So like, and sure enough, about 25% of their stuff ended up in my bag. So if anything, I think I can do less than one bag travel.
Is it because you still only use like merino stuff and you can get away with just 2 t-shirts, one on your body, one in your back and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, pretty much. I still, my clothing is still very much travel oriented. All of my clothes are like, you know, plain colored. I think I own 6 t-shirts and like 3 pairs of pants at this point, and it's just nice not to have to worry.
Do your merino shirts still hold up quite well? Because I've noticed that some of my merino wool, granted, I've been using them a lot. So some of my merino shirts start to, I'm not sure if that's the right word, disintegrate or...
I did notice that.
On this area, it starts like ripping apart. And so I'm... at the moment, have been using for now 1 year some technical fabrics that look a little bit stronger. So I was wondering, do you have the same experience with your merino stuff?
So I noticed that my merino, I think like under the armpit and in the neckline, I noticed that they would start to kind of fall apart. And I think that's just from, you know, putting it on. But I also noticed that my merino wool started to get itchy. Like the inside of the shirt started to like fray to a point where it was uncomfortable. So I, about 2 months ago, I threw out almost all of my clothes and I went over to Cuts Clothing. And I've been trying them out for about a couple months, and so far I'm pretty impressed with. Okay. It's not merino, but their fabric and the way that their stuff holds up so far has been pretty stellar.
Okay, interesting. Do you know what kind of fabric it is? Is it just regular? I think it's just cotton?
I think it's just a cotton blend, but they're extremely comfortable, and they have the elongated, like at the bottom, the cut at the bottom is elongated, so it's a little bit longer with that like flap kind of thing. And I really love the way that looks. And honestly, I think Cuts Clothing is really good for when you're on the go like I am with like videography. They're very breathable, they're very comfortable, and their pants are super nice. Like I don't think I've ever worn a pair of pants that I've loved as much as Cuts. Like
interesting.
They're pretty solid.
Never seen Cuts in Europe, so I'm not sure if they are available here. But I need to Google that. Okay, Cuts Clothing. Yeah. Interesting.
That's my new thing is that as much as I love Western Rise, and I will always love Western Rise, I wanted to kind of try something a little new, and Cuts has been really great. So
how are the pricing of them? I mean, since it's just in air quotes just cotton, it's probably not as expensive as merino wool. Huh?
No, I think the average shirt on Cuts is like $40, and sometimes they're on sale for like $29. So pretty affordable, and they do free shipping and all that stuff. But I'm 80% sure they're international, because I'm pretty sure I've seen some YouTubers over in Europe that have been like sponsored by Cuts.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I need to take a look at that. And speaking on stuff on your body, how about your EDC? Did that change since your hiatus? And are there different items in your pocket, in your sling bag?
I think my EDC grew since I left YouTube, which is not what I expected, because I'm pretty sure the last time we talked about this, I told you it shrunk, and now it's grown. So
let's talk about it. What's your EDC?
Okay, so I still use the Peak Design wallet and phone case combo, because to me it's just, I don't like to have a wallet, so having my ID and my debit and my credit card, it's all I need.
But I have to ask before you continue, isn't it, so when you hold up the phone, I mean, there is a small little lip. So when you put the phone in your pocket and the pocket might be a little bit too tight, is there the possibility, or did that ever happen to you, that your pants pockets kind of went between the phone and the MagSafe wallet, and then the MagSafe wallet just kind of flopped off your phone accidentally and then on the ground?
So 3 years ago, I had the Apple MagSafe wallet, and that exact thing happened. And like 20 minutes later, I was getting notifications about my card being used to buy stuff at like Walmart.
Oh, no.
So now what I do with this one is whenever I'm wearing any kind of pants where I'm like, I don't want to have my wallet on my phone, I'll usually take the wallet off and put that in a different pocket, but it's still with me. It's just convenient because this has the little kickstand on it. So when I'm working, I can have my phone propped up and, see notifications and control music. But that has happened to me, and not fun. Not fun at all.
So, but thanks for the confirmation, because that was something that I was always wondering about, especially when the pants pockets are a little bit tighter than it is. There is a high chance of that happening. No? Okay. So,
luckily, a lot of my pants are like cargo pants now, so I don't have to worry about that. They're very loose.
Yeah, okay. But still, if you're maybe a little bit tipsy, then that could happen, right?
You never know. But yeah, so phone and wallet are kind of a one deal for me. Okay. I still use, my go-to headphones are still my AirPod Pros. I do like Raycons, but they're better for like podcasts. I feel like the audio quality is better in that area. I take with me my Magic Trackpad and my Newfie Air keyboard with me everywhere I go. Because if I'm not working at my office, I work at the coffee shop that is across the street. So I like to have that mobile. With that, I also have my neck stand with me most of the time to prop up my laptop. Then my laptop charger usually comes with me. My SSD for all of my editing.
Do you use a special charger or do you use the Apple one?
A week ago, I just bought a brand new MacBook Pro. So I still use the Apple one for now.
Okay.
What else is in my EDC? Then I always bring a cable for each of my devices. So an iPhone charger and a USB Type-C charger with a fast brick. So if any of my devices die, I can charge them.
Yeah.
I have a little multi-tool that I use that's used mainly for camera stuff, but it can also, it's like a little... It's the Peter McKinnon one. He doesn't make it anymore. I got it when it first came out. It's got like a Phillips head screw, a flathead screw.
Okay, cool.
It's got an Allen keys you can put in there. So it's really, really good if you have a lot of like small rig cages and stuff like that. Fantastic. I always bring my key ring is now the Orbit key ring, which has another little tool on it that has like a little measuring and another like little flat head on it to also help with camera gear if I need it quicker. I think that's like a majority of my EDC. Sometimes things that will get swapped in there would be like notebooks. I use a variety of notebooks depending on where I'm going. I like field notes a lot, or I have like a wandered notebook. So depending if I'm going to a film shoot or if I'm going to the coffee shop, I either bring like my film shoot notebook or my editing notebook. So yeah, it's really grown. I bring a lot more with me because I really have enjoyed, and maybe this also comes with the freedom of the hiatus, but just being like, yeah, I don't have to work at my home office if I don't want to. I can go anywhere. I'll go to the park with my dog sometimes and connect to my mobile hotspot and work, set up with everything and just work in the middle of a park. So
that's pretty cool. So, and all of those items are in the Mission Workshop rake, probably, right? That's
and that's another reason I love the rake is that organization. Just it's it great. Really, yeah. And
I kind of regret selling it, to be honest.
You got rid of yours?
Yeah, but that was years ago. Ago.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I got a comment on my YouTube channel a couple days ago on. I reviewed the Mission Workshop years ago, and this person commented, and it cracked me up. So no hate to this person because I thought it was really funny. But obviously the Mission Workshop bag, it's expensive. It's like $500. And this person had commented, they were like, so what did you do with the diamonds and the gold flakes that came with this bag? And I was like, that's fair.
It's an expensive bag, but I feel like price is so, it's so difficult to kind of gauge what people consider justified and what's worth it, right? Because if you consider it is expensive, but if you consider this would be your last bag that you ever use and you use it daily, then I think it's justified. Because I always bring up the comparison with sneakers. I have friends, and I did that too a lot. I buy every year new sneakers because they just didn't hold up. I use them just like a bag every single day. But the sneaker usually either has to be replaced because it broke or because I just want a new one. So then the question is, okay, you use a bag maybe for 3 or to 4 years at least. And in that time you bought 4 sneakers, and so it's basically the same pricing. So it's compared to what you pay yearly, basically.
Yeah, right? I don't disagree.
And that's something that I'm kind of missing sometimes with the critiques of the bag's pricing. And I can see where it's coming from because people obviously kind of compare it to other bags. And then, yes, I can see $500 for that bag if you can get, I don't know, let's just not say a bag from the bag enthusiast space, but let's say a JanSport. A bag
like an Amazon.
Then it's, of course, that's way too much. But
Oh yeah, when you
qualities.
on average spend $30 for a bag at Walmart or on Amazon, you know, a $500 bag is going to seem, that's like going from a Toyota Camry to a Lamborghini.
But that's just with everything. I mean, for example, I went back playing Magic the Gathering, and then you see, do you play it too?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I just unpacked a couple of booster packs.
I got the last Fallout deck because they did a Fallout collaboration. So I got all the Fallout Commander decks.
My buddy has the Fallout Commander deck.
Yes.
Do you play Commander, by the way? Or maybe we should meet up and play on Spell Table if you have a Spell Table set up. I've only been able to play with 3 person, so in a three player game. So, let's do that. That would be amazing.
I love Magic.
I just got back into it. It is over 15 years ago when I played Magic the Gathering, but I just got back into it and I found this Commander style. I just built my own deck. And
what color are you?
My Commander deck is I bought a pre-built Wilds of Eldraine, which is green and white.
I play green and white.
But I built myself
That's cool.
Green and blue a couple of days ago. And I built a completely red standard deck. And you know what happened to me? Say what you will about... Do you want to tell that story? Anyway, I bought... Okay, I'm not saying where I ordered it from, but I ordered... For those of you who don't know, there are packs where you can buy it for new beginners. So it's a foundation starter pack with just a couple of cards, with a manual and a table set. And what happened is, because that package has the same size, that package cost 25 euros in Germany. But the box has the same size as one of those booster packs where there are 36 booster packs inside, which goes for 160 euros. But because the box has the same size, they accidentally sent me the more expensive one. I was like, oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Not going to tell anyone about that.
Just keep that on the down low.
So for 25 euros, I got like something that is worth 140 or 150, something
That's
like
awesome.
that. So yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah, love that.
Magic the Gathering is awesome. I didn't know that you play it too. That's cool.
I just recently got back into it because I used to kind of dabble with it when I lived near my best friend on the East Coast, Kevin, my co-host. He literally, and I've kept a tally of this, we are in episode like 95 of our podcast. There has only been 3 episodes where he has not brought up Magic the Gathering. 2 of those episodes are because he wasn't on the episode. So he brings it up every single episode.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Then I think we need to play because I just got this legendary creature that is green and black, and I'm going to build myself a green and black deck probably pretty soon. Maybe. Not sure yet. I got a couple of cards.
Love it. That's awesome. We'll definitely have to play. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, Spell Table is also so easy because for all of you who don't know, Spell Table is the proprietary software, but it's free from the makers of Magic the Gathering, which is Wizard of the Coast. And what they did is you can connect a webcam, film the table where you play those cards, and it scans the cards. And then when you click on the cards, it will actually tell you what card it is. So you can play easily online for free. Okay, you have to buy the cards, obviously, but the service is for free.
Right.
All right.
Definitely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, yeah. I was going to say we'll definitely have to play because that'd be
that would
great.
be amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for answering all of these questions. Any last words? Where can people find you if they don't know it yet?
Yeah, so you can find me on YouTube at Odie Matthews. That Instagram that connects to that is at Odie_Matthews. And then Magnum Nopus, spelled Magnum and then Nopus. So like Magnum Opus, but put an in front of the Opus. And that's just on YouTube. I don't have the bandwidth to do that on any other social media. And then you can find my podcast, the Unpop Podcast, on any platform. We're on Apple, YouTube, Amazon, all of those for podcasting. So,
did you notice that the N that you put into the air was kind of like a Wingardium Leviosa kind of wand move?
Because you play D&D too, don't you?
Yeah, but I'm on a hiatus at the moment because I was working a little bit too much at that. I was missing too many times that I kind of lost the story. So I'm waiting until they are finished with that campaign, but it takes way too long. They haven't killed that stupid vampire yet. They need to kill that guy so they can start a new campaign and I can come back.
Yeah,
it's kind of annoying. But do you play D&D as well?
Weekly. Yep.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yep, I've DM'd a couple times, and right now I'm a monk in a campaign with 5 other people.
You're a monk. I thought you would be a bard or something.
So I just did a one shot where I was a bard. I was a bard who was he had an ego and he thought he was the best thing ever. He was an actor, but the catch was that he was really bad at acting.
That's actually what I'm thinking of next, but not with an actor, but rather with a musician who can sing. So basically,
that's even better.
I wish I could sing, but I cannot sing.
Right.
So my plan is to play a bard the next time.
Bards are fun. I
don't understand them.
I don't either, because the way we do 3 sessions of our main campaign, and then the 4th session is a one-shot hosted by somebody else. So right now, our current one-shot hoster is doing a 3-part where like our characters are continuing. And so we just did like a murder mystery, and now we're about to do a dungeon crawl. And bards are very interesting in combat. That bardic inspiration and stuff, it's definitely... It's weird because I favor monks and rangers, so bards were really, really out there for me.
Yeah. I will. So. I definitely want to try it because I have no clue about how to utilize them. So I really want to try it the next time.
Definitely, they're fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, did you see the Dungeons and Dragons movie? I think Chris Pine as a bard, that was amazing.
It was great.
That was so the best like portrayal of what I would consider a bard. Still, that kind of underlines that I wouldn't know what to do with a bard if I played one and if we would get into battle, because that's exactly how I imagine a bard, and I have no idea how to use that besides hitting someone with a guitar. So I don't know how to do that.
Definitely have to let me know how that one goes.
Yeah, we'll let you know. All right, Odie, thank you so much for your time. And everyone, please don't forget to follow Odie on his YouTube, but also on his other channel, Magnum Nopus. And we see you in the next
Thanks
episode.
for having me.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.